right? But they're willing to put their shit in a box and strap in and go along for the ride. When you saw other people that had been part of his life earlier coming back for more, how did that make you feel as somebody who was just joining the team? Does that give you confidence that it's going to work out because you see all the examples in front of you of people for whom it had worked out?
Absolutely, but the confidence was built that evening at the table. I'm the type of person, me personally, that I give somebody 100% trust until I have to take it away from them.
Sure.
And that was the decision I made with your father. Fast forward a couple of months into this, I see the Bobby Zarbalases, the JB Harts, God rest his soul, the Genos, putting the team together and knowing that there's 20, 30 years in some of these names. 100%. You have to walk the walk and talk the talk, and Mr. Coscaerlli does both. And he leads by example. He really does. It means a lot when you could pick up the phone, call somebody in California and say, hey, I have a job opening for you, and the guy's at your doorstep.
Yep.
Or vice versa. Just the last few months, I've done a lot of traveling for him. On a week's notice, you have to go out to California. Or in 2 weeks' notice, you have to go out to Orlando. We have to open a new location.
Mhm.
And of course, execute it with precision because at the end of the day, you're representing him. And it's important that the final product is something that he would sign off on.
Take me through an example from H. Greg Lux. Like, what's something that wasn't functioning properly when he arrived, and what steps did he take to fix it? Like, it's okay if you go into the nitty-gritty of cars
Yeah,
that I
absolutely.
might not understand, but I'm interested in the way you solve a problem from that level and how you've seen him operate in that mode.
Your father takes himself out of the equation,
Mm,
puts himself 30,000 feet in the sky, and then he also has to foresee the future. He's always 90 to 120 days ahead. And that's something that I've learned from him, to always watch for the curve and be prepared for the curve. He's a master. He's a master at bringing out the best. Whether it's a financial statement or balancing water reports, age units. He's a full circle. Whether it's marketing and even staying up to date with the current trends in the market,
mm.
he has his pulse on everything. He executes with precision.
Tell me a time that you guys have clashed. It's like, man, Joe, I really just don't think that this is the way. Like, was there a time early on, and how did that play out?
I've never clashed with your father, and that's because of the respect I have for him. Again, I'm built a little bit differently than the normal person. If you're going to mentor me, I know when to speak my opinion, when to just stay quiet and listen. And
Hmm.
with your father, for the most part, I stay quiet and I listen. I take notes. I have my notepad every morning, whether again, it's business or personal. It's my personality and my character. I can never think of a time where I clashed with your father because, again, I looked up to him as a leader, as a mentor, as an uncle. On a personal note, I call him Uncle Joe. A lot of people use that terminology, Uncle Joe. And typically, when they use that Uncle Joe, it's because he's impacted them on a personal level.
Hmm.
That's the truth.
Now, presumably, not everyone is as good of a soldier as you are. What sets him off in others? Like I know from where I'm standing, he's a man of contradictions in a lot of ways. In that, he's very easygoing, very kind, but also has a quick temper and likes things to be done correctly. I think he's mellowed over the years, as I've seen and as I've heard. But what's something that's still, like if somebody does it, you're thinking like, ooh, Joe's not gonna like that. Like what kind of behaviors like flip that switch for him?
I've never seen your father raise his voice. Very few times, and the times will warrant it. Your father is a smooth operator. You will never see him out of character. And that's the truth. I really can't put any fluff where I could say he's not a yeller. And in this industry, it's toxic enough as it is.
Fair
Your
enough.
father brings a significant amount of positive energy. He gets upset. Your father, you probably know this. There's two reasons why somebody doesn't do something. Either they don't know how or they don't want to. If they don't know how, he says we will teach them. And if they don't want to, well, there's plenty of other options and doors open. I could say what upsets him is when you say you're going to do something and you don't do it.
Hmm.
And that's pretty much where I see him set off for something off the handles, off the wall. Like, what were you thinking?
Sure.
It'll start the conversation before the yelling is, what were you thinking? So most of the time we think we don't want to have uncomfortable conversations. I personally don't like to have uncomfortable conversations with Joe. Very rarely do I see him go off, and that's just in my tenure with him, my time with him, very rare, very, very rare.
I think you're right that he's more interested usually in trying to get to the bottom of why things happened in the way that they shouldn't have, right? And in that scenario, what he expects is honesty, right? And humility. Not everybody has that when they screw up. Think of him as somebody who gives people a lot of chances or few chances.
A fair enough chance because a man in his position, you cannot have unlimited chances. The show must go on. He can love you, but if you're not working to your full potential, he's going to have an uncomfortable conversation with you. He's a leader. He's
Mhm.
running a multi-billion dollar company, he's got multiple locations, multiple staff members. He gives you enough where he's fair. He's more than fair, and many times he's also very straight to the point when he needs to become straight to the point.
I remember from when I was a kid, the guys used to tell me like, "Oh, you never want Joe inviting you to lunch, because he doesn't eat lunch."
So I've actually adapted the Coscaerlli diet for the last 5 years. Your father and I fast. Everybody in the building thinks we're crazy. We live off of water and espresso. You always have a fine espresso with fine coffee beans in his office,
Mhm.
but that's a diet that I've adapted over the last 5 years. Feel healthier than ever, and I see him in the same fashion. It works for us.
Yeah, do you ever see him? You ever see him eat anything at the dealership?
I mean, if someone brings in a loaf of bread, some olives, he'll very rarely. We're not lunch
A
guys.
little
We
graze.
your father we open our store at 9 a.m. Your father's here at 8:30 with his cup of Dunkin' Donuts coffee, his briefcase, and when I walk in, he's already on the computer and he's 2 hours ahead of everybody else.
Mhm.
Religiously, I never see him take a day off. He doesn't believe in being sick when
Oh,
he's
oh, I know.
he's here. He's here, and they don't make them like they used to. I tell your father all the time, his blood is still stronger than my bones. You know, they don't build them like that anymore. Your father is he's a workaholic, but he enjoys what he does. I don't see him ever miserable at the office. Again, in my tenure with him, he always has a positive smile. Every day's a new day. It's a happy Saturday. It's a happy Monday, and every day is a new opportunity. Yesterday was yesterday. Today's today.
Tell me about that 9 a.m. What's the first meeting of the day like? How does he set the tone for the day?
I can speak about myself. When I get into the office, the first thing I do is I check in with him. I grab my notepad. He gives me a list of directives that he needs to get done and accomplished that day. And then I can flip back to my notes. Most of the time, I get everything he needs done. Everything is executed and accomplished with precision. He moves on, but he'll sit with each manager individually and give them their tasks. Sometimes we have a collective meeting and we'll go over our accomplishments, we'll go over our challenges. He also gives inspiration. On Saturdays, again, religiously, every Saturday we have a 9 a.m. sales meeting. That meeting is meant to be lessons and inspirations. I've been dying to record these meetings, but he doesn't want to give away all his trade secrets yet. Meetings are very important for him. That's how he keeps his pulse on what's happening.
Give me one of the lessons that you've taken from that, since this is just us and for him and the family. I know they're trade secrets, but give me something that's stuck with you and that you can use not only in the car business but in other aspects of your life.
A lot of people lack the discipline. Your father has discipline. Your father enforces discipline and he focuses on people's qualities and traits. Right here on my desk, you see right here is my notepad. I don't walk into his office without the notepad. That's no matter how good you are, you sit down, you take your notes, and then you walk out. People's attention span is very limited.
Mhm.
So I circle back and I go to my notepad and I look at the notes and I make sure that I got everything that I need to get covered for that day covered.
What is my